Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's get into the Friday action in the MLB. We'll run the board, talk MLB best bets. I'll have 3 plays for you guys as we are live from the Borgata here in Atlantic City. So it'll be a fun little Friday. All right, so we'll be hanging out the BetMGM Sportsbook all day. Do a little beach time, have some cocktails, and then we'll kind of get into the weekend where I'm looking forward to some preseason football as well that we have tomorrow, and the UFC fights as always on Sunday night. A big showdown there. We'll talk about kind of what we have going on in the MLB. Recap from yesterday, though, and maybe it is the stash. You guys are right. Might have to go, but 0-2 on the picks. We had the Cubs, Matthew Boyd backing him, a 2-hitter, and then Vladdy went deep in the 8th, and then the Cubs subsequently 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, and not able to play to run, okay? And that's something where we even saw in the 9th inning, runner on second, and just kind of abysmal, right? 3 straight strikeouts with a runner on 2nd and 3rd and no outs. And you pretty much can't ask for anything. Probably from my playing days, one of my biggest pet peeves is when you have a runner on second base with no outs and you can't get that runner home, okay? But Matthew Boyd, phenomenal start. And maybe that's just something where the first 5 was a better bet with these starters and not trusting these bullpens. But we're going to talk some bullpens today. We're going to get into the action and the first game on the card that we are going to look at. And guys, as we are going, make sure you hit that like button. Please subscribe down below if you have not already done so. And let's get into the MLB best bets, okay? We are going to look into the first game. That's where we see the Cubs hosting the Pirates, right? We do get Rhea in Pittsburgh, a pitcher not to be named as of this time. 220, a little day baseball there in Wrigley. I do like the Cubs on a bounce back, okay? But as we look at the odds board here, you can see at the top of your screen, the money's just not right. Not going to lay minus $2 with the Cubs. And on the run line at plus 100, that's probably the only way that I would approach this game. Okay, Milwaukee, another NL Central divisional game as we do look for Martinez hosting the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Brewers, let's just talk about it because it needs its recognition, right? They've won at least 10 straight games. They are going for an outstanding winning streak here in the month of August. The Brewers, right now, they're kind of just in the current market. They got to be the favorite right now, the best team, them, the Padres, and the Dodgers in the NL for coming out and winning that pennant. So I do like Milwaukee there, minus 135 going against Martinez. The bats stay hot, even Milwaukee team total. Kind of like the Brewers here in this situation, okay? The next bet on the card, Philadelphia and Washington. Try to find a way to get involved with this. Philadelphia minus 175 on the money line as they take on Mackenzie Gore. We get Zach Wheeler on the road, and he has not been that impressive, okay, with his betting splits as a road starter, okay? So that's why I'm kind of staying away from the Phillies. Haven't really liked how they've been hitting the baseball either. They have dropped 3 straight games. Total set at 7.5, too. That might be a little bit too low in the Great American Launchpad. So as we look at the Phillies and the Washington Nationals here in this spot, 6:45 first pitch, kind of lean towards the over, okay? And that's just kind of how I look at it. But other than that, it would not shock me whatsoever if Wheeler delivered and got it done on the road against the Reds, okay? I'm sorry, against the Nats. The next game, Texas and Toronto, Chris Bassett and Jacob deGrom. You can see this right here. The Blue Jays, plus 100. Maybe a little mojo, keep the action going from yesterday after they had that momentumous win against the Cubs. Who knows? I think there's something where we look into the Rogers Center. What actually goes down? This will be a great pitching matchup. Great AL matchup too, where this could be maybe a foreshadow of what we see come October as we do get some postseason baseball. Toronto and the Rangers, okay, 71 and 51 for the Blue Jays. Looking at Texas, though, they've been struggling, okay? They were a lot of people's kind of dark horse, their long shot to kind of make the World Series. On the road, though, we do get Texas playing with some different splits, some different numbers. It is kind of one of those games where despite Jacob deGrom pitching, I kind of like the Blue Jays at home as they have won 6 of their last 10, plus 100 on the money line. Kind of like the Blue Jays in this spot, but no official play. Next game, the Seattle Mariners and the likes of the New York Mets. This is a stay-away game for me. Sean Manaea going against Castillo for the Mariners. As we talk about the Mets, very interesting kind of how this is all shaped out. They've only won 1 of their last 10 games, okay? They're kind of on that no-bet list with the Dodgers, and seemingly when I do choose to stay away from them, that's when they get a lot of offensive output. So would not shock me whatsoever if the Mets do bounce back. And I got to tell you guys, I'm not a big Soto man, okay? Soto, for all intents and purposes, great player, just 5-tool athlete. But something about the guy, just, I don't know. I know he's a great competitor, but just does not resonate with me in terms of if I was playing with Soto. I don't know if I'd really be a fan of him and his attitude on my squad. Just kind of off the cuff. It has nothing to do with sports betting, but just bringing back some of my playing days. It just kind of rubs me the wrong way at face value. Okay, so this is a stay away game. I don't even understand how the Mets can be favored in this spot. Seattle on the road, they will see a lot of potential for getting out of their home ballpark for some run output. 8.5 for the over is fairly attractive there at plus 100, as we have seen both of these clubs score 9 runs or more in 50% of their last 10 games. So that's kind of where I'm leaning in that regard, but no official play. So let's get into the first official bet, and this will be with Atlanta and Cleveland. Okay, we do get Waldrop, a young rookie, going against Cantillo. And Waldrop, 2-0 on the year, 1.54 ERA. Big fan of him, okay? But the Cleveland Guardians, boy, are they hitting the baseball right now. Kind of that sneaky team that we have seen kind of just come out of nowhere. They've won 7 of their last 10 games, and the Braves, coincidentally, they have won 6 of their last 10. So that's something to keep in mind, okay? I do like the Braves. I just don't trust the back end of that bullpen. Cleveland has some magic at home as well, 63-57 on the season. We're going to be backing the Braves here on the first 5 innings at a minus 105 price. That is my best bet for this game, my first official play. We're going to back Waldrop, give him a shot here on the road to make a road start and get it done. In his 2 outings, though, it is notable to mention kind of the offenses that he did go up against. The first was the Reds, and I believe the second, as we look into the game logs, okay, this is where he did face, I don't want to misspeak, the Miami Marlins, who have been hitting the baseball. So 2 good offensive clubs during the first week of August that he did face. And I think this is something where Cleveland, they're hitting the baseball just as well, okay, which is shocking to me. I don't really know, quite frankly, how. This is kind of like for all intents and purposes, from a general manager standpoint, this is kind of like a beer league softball roster outside the likes of Stephen Kwan and Jose Ramirez, okay? But that's kind of where we're going to take Atlanta on the first 5. That will be my first official play. The next game, we will have another official play, and this is Miami and the Boston Red Sox, okay? They are playing in Fenway. Lucas Giolito going against Sandy Alcantara. This is a game where we're going to take the over 9 at plus 100, okay? Like both of these clubs offensively, I do like Boston on the money line. Minus 165, though, backing Giolito. Not going to get involved with that. But give me Boston, Miami. We're going to go over the total of 9 at plus 100. So some even money that kind of get us into that later game. 7:10 first pitch, Boston and Miami. All right, next one we're going to talk about Detroit and Minnesota. AL Central clash. I think this is one where we do see a lot of runs as well. Very strong lean towards the over 9.5. Just don't trust the Twins. I would also look into the first 5, taking the total going over in the first 5. It gives us something where these starters, you get a little bit more value. And I think that the Twins, one thing I've noted about them is they do get on the board very early in games. Okay, so Minnesota team total in the first 5 going against Charlie Morton. I like that. I also think Detroit's going to hit the baseball very well today. So I think the total in this spot, in any really shape or fashion, is kind of how I would approach this game. White Sox and Royals, very strong lean towards the Royals on the run line, plus 120. Okay, they've cashed out in 5 of their last 10. Also, you kind of look at the Royals here. They are off a loss. They do bounce back very nicely. So I would favor the Royals in this spot, minus 1.5 at plus 120. Baltimore and Houston, we'll talk about kind of what they have going on. This is where we see Framber Valdez taking on Young. Houston all the way, okay, minus 235. That's a steep price. I don't love them enough on the run line to take the minus 114. And even to not bat in the 9s, you just still don't get the value that you want with Houston. So this is a fade against Baltimore in this spot. I do think we get runs, but I think that Framber Valdez potentially shuts the door on them. 11-5 on the season, 2.97 ERA. He has really came on pretty strong as of recent. So finding a way to fade Baltimore is how I would approach this game. I think Houston does roll. And if you do want to get into this game, I think the best bet you can make, and I will pull it up for you guys so that you can see what I'm looking at. This will be kind of where we look into the Houston team total, okay? That's where we're going to find the Astros team runs. If you want to take them over 4.5 at minus 120, that's my best bet for this game, but no official play. All right, and let's get back into it. The next game, Cardinals and Yankees. We're going to talk about Luis Hill and Palante. Another game where I do think we get some runs, right? Yankees minus 130 on the money line. The 9's a little bit too high. They are playing in St. Louis. If this game was in New York, it probably would be an official play, but we're going to pass on this one. But I do lean towards the over 9, despite both of these clubs really failing to score, right? The Yankees have only scored 9 runs or more in 3 of their last 10, and the same goes for the Cardinals, as they have only scored 9 runs or more in 4 of their last 10. But I just think we get some runs in this outing, a fade against Hill as well. Diamondbacks, Rockies. We saw the Rockies kind of get bludgeoned yesterday. The Diamondbacks, despite dishing out all of their offensive players in the trade deadline, they come into this spot 7 out of the last 10 games. They have won a baseball game, okay? But one thing that kind of note is the under 11.5 at plus 100. That number is very, very juicy. Brandon Pfaadt and Gordon going. The Diamondbacks will roll in this game, in my opinion. Diamondbacks team total, it's going to be at about 6.5, so it's not enough to get involved. But if you do look at kind of the offensive trends, staying under the total of 11.5 is fairly attractive at even money, okay? And then we have 3 games finally to talk about, the Angels and the Athletics. This is an over 10. I do think we get runs. Lean towards the over 10, minus 105 in this spot between the A's and the Angels, Kikuchi and Perkins. We're going to get some runs, okay? Kikuchi's probably that bright spot for the Angels. I've been hitting the heck out of the baseball as they just basically destroyed the Dodgers. And, going against the Athletics, I think that we get some more runs as well. So the over 10 is kind of where I lean in this regard. Okay, Tampa Bay, San Francisco, Ralph versus Boyle. No play for me. We're going to stay away from that one. That will be a pass. But the last game on the card that I will have official play in is San Diego and the Dodgers. Probably the highlight of the day, as we will look at Kershaw. Okay, and Kershaw going on the bump for a pitcher not to be named for the Padres yet. Michael King was supposed to start in this outing. He has got scratched, back on the IL, but the Padres, that bullpen is fairly impressive, okay? Maybe the best bullpen in the major leagues. And if they have a lead late, expect that door to be shut. And that's kind of how I see this game shaping out. Also, the Dodgers and Kershaw, very familiar with that San Diego lineup. I think this is something where the Dodgers, especially after losing 4 straight games, we're kind of maybe late to the party, but we're on that fade train. And I just think that this is a value play. Plus 160 for the Padres. They have won 8 of their last 10. This is just too much value for a divisional road team going against a veteran pitcher, but still up there in age. And I think that when we look at kind of the Padres lineup, I think they're very familiar with Kershaw, and I don't foresee any trouble for them scoring. So we're gonna take a shot at it. We're gonna take that plus 160 value. Give me the Padres there, plus 160 as my last official play. All right, guys, that'll wrap it up. Those are my best bets. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you want the quick recap, we're gonna go Boston on that first. The Boston over 9. That will be the official play with Miami at plus 100. We're going to take the Braves on the first 5 against Cleveland, minus 104, and some value there on the late night game where we take the Padres plus 160 on the money line. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't done so by now, hit that like button. Please subscribe down below. Apologies if it's a little bit windy. There's seagulls. We are on the beach. And this is kind of like one of the spots where they are kind of having some buses drive by. So I do apologize for the audio quality if it is bad. Also, we'll try to get some content out from the sportsbook a little bit later on. So make sure you guys all have that notification bell turned on, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow in the next video. Cheers.